On Thursday, India's External Affairs Minister met UN chief and discussed the current developments in Sudan and the Ukraine conflict. Dr. S. Jaishankar also discussed India's G20 presidency with Antonio Guterres. In Sudan, over 300 people have been killed since the fighting began between forces loyal to Army Chief and his deputy who commands the Rapid Support Forces. Speaking on the situation in the African nation, the Indian minister said ceasefire is key. Jaishankar said that unless there is a ceasefire and unless there are corridors, it's not safe for people really to come out.
Most of our meeting was on the Sudan situation. We also, of course, discussed the G20. We also spent some time on the Ukraine conflict. But essentially, it was about the Sudan. And in Sudan, the UN is at the heart of the efforts to establish a ceasefire. And that is really key. Because at the moment, unless there is a ceasefire and unless there are corridors, it's not safe for people really to come out.
He added that New Delhi has a strong interest in the matter as many Indians are there in Sudan. An External Affairs Ministry team is in constant touch with Indians in Sudan. Jaishankar has spoken to his counterparts from Saudi Arabia and the UAE on the situation in Sudan as well, and he also spoke with his Egyptian counterpart. Meanwhile, UN chief appealed for a ceasefire in Sudan for at least 3 days to mark the occasion of Eid al-Fitr. He said that the ceasefire will allow people trapped in conflict zones to escape and seek medical treatment. Now for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report. Take a look.
India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar was here at the United Nations headquarters in New York on Thursday afternoon, meeting UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres. The two discussed a host of issues, including India's presidency of the G20 and the war in Ukraine. However, a large portion of their discussion focused on the worsening situation in Sudan. Following that meeting, Dr. Jaishankar put emphasis on the meeting with Guterres regarding the ongoing crisis in Sudan, saying India strongly supports an early ceasefire in the country. The last time the two men met was back in December 2022 when India held the presidency of the UN Security Council. Dr. Jaishankar was here in New York on his way for a 9-day trip to Latin America and the Caribbean. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.